We're not allies with them, and their government sucks. All right, let it continue. Roll it.
Second of all, my thing is, when I say they coincide with values, what would you say in the entire Middle East is the closest country to the United States in terms of fair elections, allowing LGBTQ people?
It's an apartheid state. How are you going to say it's fair elections?
Officer Tatum fires back at Ana Kasparian for calling Israel an apartheid state. But here's where it gets interesting. This debate isn't black and white, because while technically Israel doesn't fit the legal definition of apartheid, there's still a gray zone that fuels the controversy. So let's break the matrix and talk about what's really going on behind the shouting match. Let's plug in.
Palestinians.
I'll cut time out. She's a dumb. Behave yourself, Brandon. Behave yourself. You know how stupid you have to be to say it's an apartheid state? Do you know how stupid you have to be to say it's an apartheid state? The people watching this,
By definition,
do you know what an apartheid
it's not.
represents? That's a clear division of race, division by race, right? In apartheid South Africa, white versus blacks. That means this race don't have the same access and don't have the same rights as another race. That's what an apartheid is. In Israel, right now, Arabs have every right to almost everything that the Jews have. Probably everything.
Almost, you heard him? Almost
Arab
everything.
Israelis serve in the Knesset, they serve in the military, you name it. They vote. How is it apartheid if Jews and Arabs have the same rights in Israel? What are you saying? You ignorant, behave yourself. Because as you claim it's an apartheid blaming Israel, Jews have no access to the West Bank where the Palestinians live. They have no access to Gaza at all. So who is perpetuating an apartheid state? The Palestinians or the Israelis? But since you're a dumb, I want to cuss. Nick, Nick, can you cuss for me? I'm just playing. All right, let this.
Guys, I have to jump in fast here. On the surface, Officer Tatum's argument makes sense. He says Israel can't be an apartheid state when Arab citizens serve in the military and have access to voting rights. That's true. Roughly 20% of Israel's population is Arab, and many live with full legal status, freedom of speech, and representation. But here's what Anna's trying to point to, and where the line gets blurred. Most Palestinians in the West Bank and Gaza don't share those same rights. They're under travel restrictions, checkpoints, and military oversight that Israelis don't experience.
Garden Tool, finish what she's saying.
Aren't allowed to vote, and they're not even allowed to have their own state. They're not. Benjamin Netanyahu said multiple times, "I will not allow the Palestinians to have their own state."
You know why? Because
they're stuck in a situation. Oh my God!
Wait, if you were Prime Minister Netanyahu,
there's no Hamas in the West Bank, Emily. There's no Hamas in the
pay for slave.
Oh, the PLO too. They're Palestinians. So by nature, being Palestinians, they shouldn't be allowed.
We're giving you $10,000. Is that a person you'd give a state? Because you're saying you're making it seem like the PLO are the good guys now.
Man,
when they stop funding people to kill Jews, maybe Netanyahu should negotiate with them. But until they stop raising their kids to say, hey, I know you want to go work and become an engineer, but if you kill a Jew, you'll get $10,000 per Jew.
The PLO is killing Jews in the West Bank. The PLO is on its knees.
Pay for slay.
Beyond deferential to the Israelis, doing everything they can to show we're being peaceful. Let us have our own state.
What about?
We're doing everything can be peaceful. The last shooting that made my wife say you can't go to Israel was when, from the West Bank, the Arabs came over and shot a bunch of people at a bus stop. What are we saying, y'all? They're shooting missiles over. They're attacking people. They cheered in October 7th from the West Bank. What are y'all saying? It's an apartheid state. She is so stupid. Arabs, when the war happened and the Palestinian forces displaced their own people, they made them all go to the West Bank because they thought they were going to beat Israel and they would have them come back after the war. But they lost. So they displaced all their own people. But there was 2 million Arabs that said, I don't want to be a part of the West Bank. They joined Israel and became Israeli citizens. What are you saying? Arabs work in Israel. I went to Israel. I was in Israel for 2 weeks. I saw all the Arabs coming up from Gaza working in Israel. What are you saying? You ignorant rotoclear.
Let's peel back the emotion and look at the structure. Israel's defense forces argue these restrictions exist to prevent terrorism, suicide bombings, rocket fire, and that pay to slay incentive that that other girl was talking about. You know, the killing Israelis. Yes, that's real. That's documented. But from the Palestinian side, those same measures feel like collective punishment. Daily life controlled by another power. Walls slicing through land they consider home. So when someone calls it apartheid, it's not always about race. It's about freedom of movement, citizenship rights, and sovereignty. That's why the term sparks so much division, because both sides can point to facts that feel true in their context. This debate isn't just about Israel. It's about how modern media packages morality. One clip goes viral, emotions explode, and suddenly it's good versus evil, black versus white. No nuance allowed. Anna's outrage represents a generation trained to see oppression everywhere, while Tatum represents a generation tired of watching the word apartheid get weaponized. But somewhere between their extremes, that's where reality lives. It's not about defending one side blindly. It's about asking, how do you balance survival with justice?
But what do they keep doing? What do they keep doing? They keep building illegal settlements. They keep building illegal settlements. They keep building illegal settlements.
What is pay for
but you
slay?
don't care, right? You don't care.
What is
Let me
pay
go in
for
your
slay?
neighborhood. What are you saying?
That's what they do in the West Bank. The PLO funds people to kill Jews. Has this not been something you've been informed
Have you not
of?
seen these
pay for slay.
How
about this?
You
I
live
think
in
Jews,
an alternate
I think Jews should be
universe.
allowed to live in the West Bank.
I don't
Welcome
know.
to
I
the
don't.
Matrix.
I don't.
So you believe in apartheid
Because they
then?
keep building
When it comes to
illegal
Jews,
settlements.
what
They're
if I
stealing
build a house
land,
legally? I buy
Emily.
land.
They're stealing
They
land.
don't want Jews in the West
Why
Bank.
don't they let the
That's
Palestinians build
apartheid.
houses in
There's
Israel?
2.8 million Arabs in Israel
Man.
living better lives in Israel than the West Bank and Gaza combined.
You're-
You just hate
Emily,
Jews. I will not.
No, I
believe
don't
that.
hate Jews.
Then why can't they live in the West Bank?
I hate disgusting,
Why can't they live in the West
vile
Bank?
propaganda.
Why can't a Jew live in
human
Gaza?
beings like trash like
Why
you?
can't a Jew live in the West Bank, Anna?
No, it's fucking pathetic.
Cat
All right,
fight.
let's move on.
Look who. All you got to do when you wonder who's winning the argument is the one who's cussing and losing their
It
mind
gets
is the one
clicks,
losing.
though. It gets
She's
clicks.
the one losing. There is
Click.
pay to
Click,
slay.
click.
The PLO is paying people money when they kill a Jew. That's why you see them still going over there doing terrorist attacks. When have you seen a terrorist attack where a Jewish person, go and blow themselves up over in Gaza? It didn't happen. But they come over into Israel and blow themselves up. When have you ever seen Israelis go over into Gaza and start killing random citizens and taking them hostage and beheading them and putting it on camera? When have you ever seen something like that?
Yeah,
It don't exist.
I haven't seen
They
it.
come
He's
over
got-
into
he's got a
Israel and do
point.
these atrocities. They still got hostages. Matter of fact, do we got that video of them fake burying people? It was from the story from yesterday. Let's play that video. I think I don't have the sheet. Just in case you think that. Just in case
He
you
ain't
think I'm making this
lying,
up.
but he ain't telling the
They got caught on camera.
whole truth.
Drone footage. Lying.
This is such a
They
shame.
literally are taking hostages that they killed, and then they're burying them, and then they go and lift them up in the crane and take them out to the humanitarian or the Red Cross and say, we found this person in the rubble. Watch what they do. Look at it. They throw a body out the window. You see them throwing that body out the window? They drag it
Yeah.
over there,
Oh shit.
right? Already set shallow grave. Then they start burying it. Look at what these people doing, man. They burying it. Why the body was in the house? Why they pull it out and bury it on the side of the place like this?
They gotta bury it
Just
somewhere,
watch.
right?
Keep watching. Then they go and get the thing to shovel up the rubble
Yeah.
that they claim. The rubble from the airstrikes.
Well, that whole place was definitely leveled by some
And they say, well,
sort
we
of
discovered
bombs.
something as we're digging up the rubble. And then they go and pull it out right here. They go get it.
What do you know? There's a body.
Oh no, that's what they do. They do it, and then now they trying to discover it.
You know that shit's going on
Wow,
TikTok.
we just discovered this body. They're taking a picture of it. Look, they're taking photos of it.
Shit's going viral.
Explain to me what is going on here. But when you're a Jew hater, when you hate the Jews, because you have no other. I don't know. I know people are sick. They got a sickness.
Yes, I agree. Humanity is definitely psychotic. But here's the glitch. Both narratives are true in fragments, but false in totality. Israel isn't apartheid by law, but it's also not free of moral contradiction. When security measures become permanent, occupation becomes identity, and that's how systems blur into something that looks like apartheid even when it isn't called one. The Matrix wants you to pick a side, but the real red pill is understanding that both can be right and both can be wrong. So before you repost, rage, or rant, ask yourself, are you reacting to facts or just to programming? Because truth doesn't need to shout. It just needs to be seen clearly. If you're tired of echo chambers and ready for reality, hit that like button, subscribe, and welcome to the Matrix Breakdown.